on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, I'm Darren. Welcome to 8th Day Chronicles here at Cross Timbers Farm. Glad to have you with us on this frigid day. Goodness, is it cold. We're up to about 18 degrees now. Single digits this morning, 8 degrees, 6 a.m. I had cabin fever. I spent several days in the shop working on the 026 saw and some other little projects, and I just got cabin fever. I had to get outside. I'm the type of guy, I can't stand to just sit around in the house very long, or even in the shop, inside period. So much of it and I'm done. I got to get out regardless of the weather, and it's cold out here today. Busting firewood. If you're new to the channel, most people call it splitting wood. Where I grew up, we called it busting wood. So, been out here in this frigid cold this morning for a couple hours now, busting wood, and starting to get a pretty good pile going behind me. A start. Trust me, we got so much wood here, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it all. We're gonna use some of it for firewood, for camping, for us. And the rest of it, we're going to donate or just give to some folks in need. Elderly folks, folks that are handicapped, physically can't get out and cut wood. If they burn wood, and I've already located a couple people I'm going to give some wood to. Of course, this wood's still pretty green. It's been down since around the last of September, and it's now January. Needs to season a little longer. It's mostly either red oak, white oak, hickory, and some beech, and then some tulip poplar. The majority of it is red oak. Very good firewood. Quite a bit of white oak too. I'm gonna have to use my noggin busting this one. There is very much so an art to busting firewood, especially when you end up with a real knotty piece like this beech right here. Man, that thing is super knotty at the bottom. Notice I've got my knots to the bottom so I can start it cracking from the top side. I'm gonna have to be strategic about where I start splitting this one. I think right here may be a spot. There it goes. And folks, it's been in the 0 temperature, single digit temperatures the last couple of nights. And we've got nowhere even close to above freezing during the day. This wood's frozen. And it's frozen where it's been cut into firewood lengths. It's been bucked. And it's allowed the cold air to penetrate these cracks and the fibers. And this wood's about twice as hard to bust right now. than it would be when this was thawed. But I just had to get out today and do something. We'll bring you over here and let you see the frost. I just split this off this. Show you the frost inside this wood where it's froze. Can you see that? Look at the frost. And I just split this wood. So that's not been from where it's been exposed. That was inside the wood. It's frozen. You can see the ice crystals. It's one reason this wood's so hard to split right now. Just in case you're curious, I've worked on the 026 steel saw a little more. Done a little more investigating into how that saw's running. And it's not running good at all. Positive note, it's running. I've adjusted and adjusted and adjusted the carburetor. It'll either idle and won't run at full power, or it'll run at full power and won't idle. The carburetor needs a carb kit in it, or possibly just a carburetor replacement. And it needs new fuel lines and a fuel filter and a tank vent, all to do with the fuel system, I'm pretty sure. So that's going to be my next step, is to price some parts and go from there on what I do with that 026. It does have issues, which was to be expected. I was just really thrilled that it ran, period. That the piston wasn't scored or something like that. I have pulled the muffler off and the spark plug out and shined a light in there and got this piston up and down to look at the cylinder and the piston and the rings, and I can see no scarring or scoring. I believe it's okay. I think the problem is going to be my fuel system. Howdy folks, it's a couple of days later, and goodness, what a swing in the weather we've had. It has been super cold, as I'm sure about all y'all know. This Arctic blast that penetrated the southeast. We were highs of 10 degrees during the day, close to 0 at night. Last Friday, I came down and worked in the wood here, and we hauled out 2 huge truckloads of wood to some deserving people and delivered it to them. And today's Monday, and it's 45 degrees today. And they're saying a possibility some rain. You talk about a roller coaster of weather, boy, we've had it. I came down and tested that steel saw one day last week, and it was so cold I couldn't stay out here long. About 15 degrees with the wind blowing, and I don't know what the wind chill was, but it felt like you had just walked into a deep freezer, a walk-in deep freezer with a fan blowing on high on you. It was cold, but it's tolerable today. It's 45 degrees. And we've got the Kubota down here with us hauling wood out. The reason I've got that instead of the ATV or the truck is it's 45 degrees, ground's thawing, at least the surface. And it's not going to be long until we can't get down in here to haul wood out. It's just going to have to stay status quo until we can ride the four-wheeler down here unloaded and just park it and walk down on in here and split and saw wood and stack it up. But it's just going to have to stay here till the ground gets in better shape. Right now, I don't know if you can see over there in the dirt, just one trip down here on the Kubota, it's just churned this topsoil up bad down here in the woods. It's just gonna make a mud hole. I mean a mud hole until the ground quits freezing and thawing, or it just freezes hard again. If it'll freeze really hard again, then we can drive back down in here and load wood. Until then, we may have to stay out of here with vehicles, or we're gonna turn our little roads that we've built to get in here with a truck and tractor and things, we're gonna tear everything all to pieces, and it's just going to turn into a knee-deep mud hole in here if we're not careful. That's why I drove the tractor down here today. I knew that the ground was going to be soft from being up around our barn this morning and yesterday. The ground was starting to get soft from thawing, and I thought, boy, I better not try to come down here and load wood with the ATV or the truck. I'll probably get stuck. I'll bring my four-wheel drive Kubota. At least I can go see what the ground is going to do, and I probably won't get stuck. And so that's why I've got it. But we're going to have to wait on some freezing weather or the freezing and thawing to stop before we come back down in here in vehicles. So we got plenty to saw and to split and throw in piles, and that way it'll be ready to haul out of here when the ground gets in better condition. So we're gonna load up what we got busted and get it on out of here. This whole big rick we had right here of white oak, it's all been split and delivered. We still got some right here in a pile. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here today before the ground gets any worse. That little trailer's squatting pretty bad. It's been 4 months and it's not seasoned yet all the way. It's starting to season pretty good, but it's on the way, but it's not yet. So it's pretty heavy, and tractor pull it no problem, but I'm worried that I don't want to break my springs or nothing like that on this little trailer. It's not worth that. So probably about as full as I'm gonna take it, and that's a pretty full load on that little 4x8 trailer. So we'll leave it at that and go unload it. Hope we don't tear our ground up too bad going out of here. Well, we're back with the ATV, the Honda Foreman 500 four-wheel drive. We're back with the four-wheeler because the ground is just so soft, the top layer, the topsoil. We had the tractor down here earlier, and with those ag tires and that lot heavier machine, of course it'll pull wood out of here a lot better. I was going to pull some logs with it too, but I'm gonna have to wait. The topsoil is so soft right now from the freezing and thawing effect. We're about 48 degrees right now, pushing 50. This is like a heat wave compared to what it has been. So we're back with the ATV. We're just gonna have to use it until the ground either freezes again or it has some time to thaw and get back to a drier topsoil. Right now it is this squishy, mushy right now. The four-wheeler don't tear up our wooded area down here near as bad, the soil. If I keep coming back down here with that tractor right now, we would have mud ruts knee deep before very long at all. We're back with the ATV. We're gonna finish up piling out some wood with the ATV. It's actually starting to sprinkle some rain. And if it does rain some this afternoon, boy, this ground will get so soggy that we'll have to stay out of here for a few days. And we're going to have to stay out here for a while with that tractor anyway. I was hoping to pull some logs with it today. I was going to buck off some logs in 10, 12 foot lengths and pull them up into our landing area here where we're working at this wood to saw it and buck it into firewood. But it's just the ground's too wet. We want to be the best stewards of our land we can. And when the conditions are not favorable for being down here without just churning up and tearing up all the topsoil, we'll stay out. So we're going to do what we can with the ATV and the trailer. We can't put near as much wood on it with the ATV. That's a strong little machine for what it is. It will pull really well, but when this wood is still fairly green, it's been curing about 4 months, and it's still pretty wet and it's still heavy, and it don't take long till you get so much on that trailer. The trailer could handle more, but the four-wheeler can't, pulling it up out of here, up out of these hills. And it's a pretty steep incline back up to the top of the field. So, and we don't want to chew up our topsoil either. Too heavy of a load and the four-wheeler will start spinning and tearing up the soil pretty bad too. So we're only loading it what I feel like the ATV can go up and out of here without churning up the soil. So let's get a few more pieces here busted. Got some huge big white oak pieces here that it's going to take some work. I've already delivered a couple of big loads of wood, firewood, to some very deserving folks, and I was glad to help them out, and we got a lot more to go. So the rain's coming, and we're going to stop for the day. It's getting kind of late in the evening anyway, so thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it. Come back with us. We got a lot more to do here. We got a lot more sawing to do with the power saws, and a lot more splitting, busting wood, and a lot to do. Thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it, and I pray God blesses you and your family. Hope y'all have a fantastic day.